This video contains copyrighted material, which use, in accordance with U.S. copyright law, 17 U.S.C. Section 107 fair use, is allowed for the purposes of criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, and/or research, and is not an infringement of copyright. This is a non-profit, educational video, with the purpose of promoting social, political and economic awareness.
And now to a book listed on Amazon's website offering advice to pedophiles that is creating a firestorm of controversy. Today, national correspondent Natalie Morales is here with details. Natalie, good morning.
And good morning to you, Meredith. Yes, it's a self-published ebook titled The Pedophile's Guide to Love and Pleasure, a Defense of Pedophilia. But the online voices against it are growing louder. Amazon.com has all kinds of ebooks on their Kindle bookstore site, but one book in particular is creating a firestorm on the web. Its title, The Pedophile's Guide to Love and Pleasure, a Child Lover's Code of Conduct. On Amazon, author Philip R. Greaves II offers a description of his self-published ebook. This is my attempt to make pedophile situations safer for those juveniles that find themselves involved in them by establishing certain rules for these adults to follow. He goes on to say, I hope to achieve this by appealing to the better nature of pedosexuals, with hope that their doing so will result in less hatred and perhaps lighter sentences should they ever be caught.
It's offensive, it's dangerous, and it's on Kindle. I mean, it's out there to the masses. I'm very upset by it.
The ebook, available online since late October, has created thousands of angry responses on Amazon's site. Horrifying, disgusting, lost my business are just 3 of countless customer reviews of the book. And the anger has exploded online, a flurry of tweets on Twitter expressing outrage, and a growing Facebook page dedicated to boycotting Amazon just as holiday shopping gets into full swing.
Oh, they're free to think whatever they want to think about the book.
The author, who says he himself is not a pedophile, defended the book outside his Colorado home.
Every time you see them on television, they're either murderers, rapists, or kidnappers. And, that's just not an accurate presentation of the that particular sexuality.
Amazon.com has also responded, releasing a statement saying, it is censorship not to sell certain books simply because we or others believe their message is objectionable, and that they support the right of every individual to make their own purchasing decisions.
Well, perhaps it's free speech, but it shouldn't be so widely marketed as it is.
And by Wednesday night, fewer than 100 books had reportedly been sold online. Overnight, though, that link to buy the ebook was no longer available. No word, though, if Amazon reversed their decision. Meredith?
All right, Natalie, thank you very much.
how-to book for pedophiles. Online retailer Amazon.com reportedly pulling the book titled The Pedophile's Guide to Love and Pleasure, but still defending the company's right to sell such a book. This after a massive outcry online slamming the company and calling for a national boycott. Kelly Sandins, a family law attorney and criminal defense attorney, also a former prosecutor, with us in studio. What was up with this? Pedophile guide?
I know, that's offensive, isn't it? The fact that someone would write it and the fact that Amazon would sell it is a problem. I know they're sitting on their First Amendment rights, saying they have a right to do so, but your First Amendment rights end when they infringe upon mine. And what about the rights of the children that pedophiles attack? Who's looking out for them?
Have you seen this book, by the way?
I've looked it up after I received the article.
Is this as bad as my imagination believes it to be?
There's no graphic pictures, which is what you would expect, which is what Amazon is using to get around. So it's step-by-step guides and things that you can do to lure children and that sort of thing. But there's no photographs, so they're saying there's actually no pornography in it, and therefore they're allowed to sell it.
So yesterday, it's an e-book, by the way, which means an electronic book. You can download it on your computer or your iPad or your iPhone or your BlackBerry, whatever you have. It stood by its decision yesterday to sell the book. And now it's pulled the book down, right? But it has said Amazon believes it is censorship, as you referred to, not to sell certain books simply because we or others believe their message is objectionable. So then the question becomes, at what point does it stop?
I agree with you.
Where do you draw the line, Kelly?
Well, it's interesting. You don't have a right for Amazon to sell your product. So for them to take that stance, I think they like the controversy and they want to be in the news about it because realistically, they get to pick what they sell.
You think they want the controversy?
I absolutely do.
Controversy like this?
Well, they're saying that they're abiding by the First Amendment, but there's a different side of the article. We're talking about them, and now that book is not available for sale on their site.
Okay, it was also taking pre-orders for a book called I Am the Market, How to Smuggle Cocaine by the Ton, and 5 Easy Lessons. Did you know about that?
I did.
Did you know about a video game where the objective is to stalk women?
I think it's about raping and killing a mother and daughters,
leading to rape, yeah. Is that for sale still?
I believe that is for sale still. And if it's not from Amazon, it is for sale in other stores.
So how do you, as attorney, how do you fight, the right for First Amendment and what is justifiable and morally right in society?
Well, beliefs don't necessarily come into play, but the difference between the video game that's attacking women generally and a book that is teaching predators how to prey on children, I think you can make a distinction. I think they're both wrong and they're morally offensive and outrageous, but I believe this pedophile book, this how-to guide, is creating more predators, allowing them access to things that maybe they weren't smart enough to think of themselves.
And that may be ultimately the point learned here, the lesson. $4.79 online it was anyway. Kelly, thank you for your time.
The St. Louis Obispo County Sheriff's Department says what began as a cartoon on the internet is much more than meets the eye. It's known as pedobear, and while it looks innocent enough, law enforcement believes pedophiles have adopted it as a mascot. It showed up in the form of a costume recently at an event in Southern California. It's also been spotted on auto decals. Deputies say if you see the image, use caution with whatever situation you're in or the people involved.
I have no idea who's behind the mask. These are pedophiles. These are people that prey on our children.
Child predators, plain dress up. Police say parents need to know that they are out there.
A registered sex offender was spotted dressed as a Japanese cartoon character called pedobear.
That happened in San Diego at a comics conference at an event that attracts plenty of families, and Tulsa police say this is a reminder to parents to watch your kids closely.
Fox 23's Abby Alford is reporting live with more information on this. Abby?
Luckily, in just a couple of weeks, the Tulsa State Fair will kick off, attracting thousands of children, possibly some child predators who could be dressed up as this cute and cuddly bear. Tulsa police say they will be looking for them, and parents should too. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Chuck E. Cheese, clowns, now the pedobear.
I'm watching everybody.
Because underneath this costume could be a child predator.
You have no idea who's behind the mask.
In San Diego at the Comic-Con conference, police found a registered sex offender who had previously assaulted a child dressed in this suit, handing out free candy.
Children love animals. They love stuffed animals. One of these pedobears walking through the fair is going to attract the children to them. And a parent that's not aware that this could be a pedophile making contact with my child doesn't know any different and snap pictures, and allow them to have contact. And that simple contact could be all that pedophile needs to fulfill his fantasy for the day.
This pedobear is the latest meme or internet trend that has gone viral, one that pokes fun of child predators.
Some are claiming it's an internet hoax. Well, it's not an internet hoax because someone has taken it one step further.
But it's not just an image on your computer screen. It can be a predator dressed up and looking for his next victim.
These are pedophiles. These are people that prey on our children.
As in the case in San Diego, they may use candy to lure children closer, close enough to hug and touch your child.
They're getting stimulated by that one touch. You don't see it. We don't know it because they're hidden under that costume, but that's their sexual stimulation. Keep your children away from these mascots. Keep your children away from anybody dressed up, coming up to embrace your child. Know who your child's around, know what they're doing.
Police say these pedophiles may have adopted this pedobear as a mascot of sorts. Later tonight on Fox 23 News at 9, we'll take a look at the symbols that pedophiles may use to connect with other pedophiles and what police say you should report if you see it. Reporting live in Midtown Tulsa, I'm Abby Alford, Fox 23 News.
Abby, thank you. And among the groups police are monitoring right now is the North American Man-Boy Love Association. The group's mission is to end age of consent laws.
Thank you for joining us tonight. It had all the elements of a thriller crime movie. An undercover federal agent gains the trust of a dark, mysterious group, then springs the trap in a Southern California paradise. But the FBI says it was all too real, and the criminals were after sex with little boys.
I spent 26 years in the FBI, many of those years in an undercover capacity. I was the undercover FBI agent in 20 administratively approved undercover operations. I was a contract killer, a drug dealer, a white-collar criminal. I spent the North American Man-Boy Love Association. NAMBLA was my most difficult case. Psychologically, it was gut-wrenching to listen to men talk about their justification on why it was proper to have sex with boys.
If we meet and try to keep a connection, I think that's really right now where it's at. It's not a cool time for us to be out and vocal about this. I can be out and vocal about being gay. I consider myself that. I consider myself also an atheist, and I'm out about that. And but those things are different. When you go around saying you like to run your hand through a boy's hair or kiss him or do other things like that, it doesn't get the same reaction.
We met in a nondescript rehearsal hall, hardly the type of place where an organization as vaunted as NAMBLA claimed to be deserved to be meeting. To begin the conference, we went around the room and everyone introduced themselves.
My name is David.
My name is Sam, or Samuel Lindblad. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a year and a few months out of prison.
Joseph, you want to...
No one talked about abolishing age of consent laws. They came together to network with like-minded individuals. They came together to learn where they could go to have sex with little boys.
I'm Todd, divorce dentist from Dallas.
I'm Steve, from Pittsburgh.
When I first found out about this organization, the Boy Scouts,
I'd heard about NAMBLA maybe over 20 years ago, really.
Over the years, I've been a member of the New York chapter, the Los Angeles chapter, and the San Francisco chapter.
During my 3-year infiltration of NAMBLA, I corresponded with about 165 members of the organization, all of whom were in prison. Some I sent Christmas cards, some I corresponded as a pen pal.
I have been active in the Christmas card, the pen pal program.
And their letters were graphic. Many described in rich detail what they did to little boys. This organization was hiding behind the First Amendment. A.W. Tozer said that the only book that should ever be written is one that is forced out by inward pressure. I spent 3 years infiltrating NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association. After that investigation, that was the book that was forced out of me. I wanted to alert the world to this organization that preys upon our sons.
Always, if you suspect someone is having inappropriate contact with a child, report it so police can...